Hi, listeners, and welcome back to Why Walking Matters, the Science Explained. I'm Tatiana, your host, and in this episode, I share a summary of what recent science and expert guidance says about how walking supports joint health. Peer reviewed research, large observational studies, and clinical guidance shows walking isn't just good for the heart or waistline, it's often great for your joints too. Why walking is good for joints. What the research says. Walking can help prevent joint pain and slow joint damage. A large study of people aged 50 and older with radiographic signs of knee osteoarthritis found that those who walked for exercise had 40% lower odds of developing frequent knee pain than non walkers. That same research suggested walking may slow down further structural damage in the knee joint for people with osteoarthritis. In other words, regular walking appears to protect knees from worsening pain and degeneration, a big deal for older adults or anyone with early joint wear. Walking helps lubricate and nourish joint cartilage and keeps joints mobile. According to the Arthritis Foundation, walking helps keep joints lubricated and flexible because movement helps circulate the fluid inside joints that delivers nutrients and oxygen to cartilage. When cartilage, which lacks its own blood supply, moves, gentle compression and decompressing helps pump nutrients in and waste products out. Over time, this helps the joint stay healthier. Because cartilage depends on movement for nourishment, regular walking can be a simple, effective way to support long term joint health. Walking strengthens the muscles around joints, which supports and protects them. Walking engages the muscles of the legs, hips, and core. Strong muscles help absorb impact, stabilize joints, especially knees and hips, and reduce strain on cartilage and bones. For joints that bear weight, like hips and knees, stronger surrounding muscles can act like a brace, lowering the stress each step places on the joint surfaces. This strengthens the support system around joints, an important factor in preventing wear, degeneration, and injuries. Walking is low impact but effective, easier on joints than high impact exercise. Unlike running, jumping, or heavy lifting, walking is a low impact, joint friendly activity. That means it offers many of the benefits of exercise: cardiovascular health, strength, circulation, without high forces that can overload vulnerable joints. Because of this, walking is often recommended as a first line, long term exercise, especially for people with arthritis, joint pain, or those concerned about joint wear. Consistency matters. Regular walking beats occasional walks. A meta analysis of walking interventions for people with knee osteoarthritis found that after typical walking programs, about 20 to 30 minutes per session a few times per week, there was minimal to no adverse effect on joint loading metrics and some modest improvements in functional outcomes and gait speed. Longer term and more frequent walking interventions tended to yield better functional benefits. That suggests regular, moderate walking over time is safe, joint friendly, and more beneficial than sporadic or intense exercise bursts. What this means in real life: how to walk for joint health. Based on the evidence, here are practical recommendations to get the most joint protective benefits from walking. Aim for moderate, regular walking, example about 30 minutes most days of the week, or at least a few times weekly. Favor regular, gentle to moderate walking over sporadic high impact activity. Consistency is key. Walk at a pace that feels comfortable but steady and avoid sudden, jarring impacts. Good footwear and soft, flat surfaces can help. Consider adding leg strengthening work or supportive muscle and mobility training, especially hips, glutes, quads, to build muscular support around joints. If you have arthritis or joint sensitivity, start slow, short walks. Listen to your body and aim for gradual increase rather than pushing hard immediately. A balanced view: what walking can and can't do. Walking offers many joint benefits, but it's not a magic cure. Some studies find that only small or modest improvements in biomechanical measures of joint loading or degeneration over time. Walking alone may not reverse severe joint degeneration or replace the need for medical treatment in advanced arthritis. Instead, think of walking as maintenance, prevention, and support, part of a broader joint health strategy that might also include strength training, flexibility mobility work, good posture, and, when needed, medical advice. Bottom line: walking equals one of the best joint friendly exercises. Walking stands out as an ideal, low impact, joint friendly form of exercise that helps nourish and lubricate joints, strengthens muscles that support joints, lowers risk of joint pain or osteoarthritis progression, is accessible, simple, and sustainable. If you want to support your joint health now and in the long run, putting one foot in front of the other might just be one of the best and simplest habits you can build. General joint safe walking guidelines that merge evidence based practices with real world strategies to keep your hips, knees, ankles, and spine moving comfortably. 1. Start gradually and build intentionally. Begin with shorter walks, 5 to 15 minutes, if you're new, in pain, or returning after inactivity. Increase your weekly walking time by no more than 10 to 15% to prevent overloading cartilage, tendons, and ligaments. Warm up with slow pacing for the first few minutes before settling into stride. 2. Choose joint friendly surfaces. Opt for grass, dirt trails, rubberized tracks, or treadmills when possible. These reduce impact on knees and hips. Limit long walks on concrete, especially if you have arthritis or previous joint injuries. On uneven surfaces, shorten your stride to protect ankles and knees. 3. Wear supportive cushioned footwear. Use shoes with good heel shock absorption, arch support tailored to your foot type, roomy toe boxes, and replace walking shoes every 300 to 500 miles to maintain cushioning and stability. And if you can't remember how many miles you've walked, replace shoes when cushioning is flat. 4. Keep your stride natural. Avoid overstriding. A comfortable, shorter stride reduces braking forces on the knees and hips. Lean forward slightly from the ankles, not the waist, to keep your movement efficient. Aim for a steady cadence rather than long, forceful steps. 5. Strengthen the supporting muscles. Strong muscles protect joints. Add simple strengthening 2 to 3 days a week. For quadriceps and hamstrings, do squats and step ups. For glutes, do hip bridges and lateral walks. For core, do planks and bird dogs. This reduces joint compression and improves walking efficiency. 6. Respect pain signals, but know what's normal. Mild, warm stiffness is common and usually improves with movement. Sharp, increasing, or lingering pain means it's time to modify or rest. If one area repeatedly flares, temporarily shorten your walks or break them into intervals. A good rule is if pain doesn't resolve within 24 hours, adjust intensity or duration. 7. Use terrain wisely. Flat routes are easiest on joints. Downhills increase impact on knees, shorten your stride, and slow down. Uphills strengthen glutes, reducing knee load, but can stress ankles. Take them at a moderate pace. 8. Incorporate support when needed. Trekking poles reduce knee and hip load by 10 to 25%. Knee sleeves or braces can offer gentle compression and stability. Ankle supports may help if you're prone to rolling or inflammation. 9. Maintain good posture. Keep head up, shoulders relaxed, and spine tall. Imagine a string pulling you gently upward. Good alignment distributes forces evenly across joints. 10. Cool down to protect mobility. After walking, spend 2 to 3 minutes slowing your pace. Follow with light stretching, hamstrings, calves, hip flexors, quadriceps. This helps reduce post walk stiffness and keeps joint range of motion healthy. 11. Stay consistent for joint health. Walking supports joint lubrication through synovial fluid flow. Walking also supports cartilage nourishment and anti inflammatory effects, as well as stronger bones and connective tissue. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a difference when done regularly. Walking is one of the most joint-friendly forms of movement, but when certain areas are sensitive, like knees, hips, spine, or ankles, small adjustments can make the difference between pain and progress. The following walking plans blend safety, gradual conditioning, and smart technique to help you stay active while protecting your joints. Knee friendly walking plan. Why the knee struggles. The knee absorbs 2 to 4 times your body weight when walking. Small adjustments significantly reduce stress. In week 1 to 2 of this 4-week walking plan, walk 10 to 15 minutes 4 to 5 days a week on flat surfaces only, using short, quick steps to reduce load, and optionally use walking poles for 10 to 15% impact reduction. In weeks 3 to 4, increase to 20 to 25 minutes, add mild inclines only if pain free, and try interval pacing 2 minutes easy, 1 minute moderate. Knee protective techniques. Point toes forward rather than outward. Keep knees soft, not locked. Engage your glutes when pushing off. And for supplemental strength, 3 to 4 times a week, do mini squats or sit to stands in the pain free range, straight leg raises, or side leg lifts. And remember to always consult with your doctor before starting a new plan. Hip friendly walking plan. Why the hip struggles? Weak glutes, tight hip flexors, and uneven surfaces can irritate hip joints or bursa. In week 1 to 2, walk for 8 to 12 minutes, 4 days a week at a slow, controlled pace and prioritize flat and even paths. Increase to 15 to 20 minutes, 5 days a week in week 3 to 4. Add mild intervals, 1 to 2 minutes slightly faster, 2 minutes easy, and introduce gentle hill walking, up only, avoid steep downhills. Hip protective techniques. Keep stride short, avoid overstriding. Focus on low level pelvis, no hip drop. Maintain neutral spine, not leaning forward. And for supplemental strength, 3 times a week, you may do glute bridges, clamshells, standing hip abductions, and the light hip flexor stretching. Spine friendly walking plan, low back focus. Why the spine struggles? Walking is generally good for the spine, but poor posture or weak core can increase pressure on discs and joints. Weekly structure. Week 1 to 2. Walk 5 to 10 minutes once or twice per day at a slow pace with a steady rhythm. Keep hands swinging naturally to reduce spinal tension. During weeks 3 to 4, increase walking to 15 to 20 minutes, 1 to 2 times per day. Introduce a gentle pace variation, 30 seconds at moderate effort, 1 minute easy. Avoid uneven surfaces until your back feels consistently supported. Spine protective techniques. Walk tall, ribs lifted, chin neutral. Keep the stride short to avoid lumbar overextension. Consider trekking poles. They're excellent for spinal unloading. And for supplemental strength, daily micro routine, do pelvic tilts, 10 reps, bird dogs, 6 to 8 per side, and gentle hamstring stretches. Ankle friendly walking plan. Why the ankle struggles? The ankle manages constant load and balance. Weak stabilizers or previous strains make it vulnerable. Weekly structure. Week 1 to 2. Walk 8 to 10 minutes, 4 to 5 days per week. Choose flat, predictable surfaces only, and wear ankle supportive shoes or braces if needed. Week 3 to 4, increase your walk to 12 to 18 minutes 5 days per week. Introduce very slight slopes or turf. Increase pace slightly, but avoid long strides. Ankle protective techniques. Land softly. Avoid slapping the foot down. Keep steps short and controlled. Strengthen the foot arch through mindful push-off. And supplemental strength for ankles 3 to 4 times a week. Do calf raises, straight and bent knee, ankle alphabet, draw letters with your foot, lateral band walks, and for balance, stand on one foot for 20 to 30 seconds. Putting it all together, if you have multiple joint concerns, choose the most conservative plan and blend techniques from each plan. Walking doesn't have to be fast or intense to help your joints. Consistency, form, and pacing are what truly matter. With the right adjustments, walking becomes a safe, strengthening, restorative activity for nearly every joint in your body. The following are key sources for the joint safe walking guidelines shared in this podcast. From the Arthritis Foundation, Benefits of Exercise for Osteoarthritis. Their guidance highlights walking as a free and easy, low impact exercise that strengthens muscles, protects joints, improves joint mobility, and reduces arthritis related symptoms. From the Mayo Clinic, Exercising with Arthritis, Improve Your Joint Pain and Stiffness, emphasizes that moderate exercise like walking can reduce joint pain and stiffness, increase joint mobility, and improve overall function for joints, even for people with arthritis. From the CDC public health data, walking and other common physical activities among adults with arthritis, the 2021 report, shows that walking is the most commonly reported exercise among adults with arthritis and underscores its role as a safe, accessible, and widely used physical activity for joint health and overall fitness. From Baylor College of Medicine, Walking Towards Healthier Knees, a 2022 study found that among older adults with radiographic knee osteoarthritis, those who walked for exercise had 40% lower odds of developing frequent knee pain compared to non walkers, suggesting that regular walking may help prevent or slow joint pain progression. The effects of walking interventions on biomechanical knee osteoarthritis outcomes, a recent 2025 review demonstrates that walking interventions in people with mild to moderate knee osteoarthritis show minimal to no detrimental changes in biomechanical joints loading metrics and sometimes modest improvements in function, supporting the safety of walking for joint health. The multifaceted benefits of walking for healthy aging, from blue zones to molecular mechanisms, review on walking system health effects. Though broader than joint health alone, this review highlights how regular walking contributes to overall musculoskeletal, cardiovascular, and metabolic health, reinforcing walking as a foundation for long term joint support and general well being. Trusted health advice sources. Example, orthopedic or spine health counseling on walking benefits for spine and hip mobility. These highlight how walking can strengthen supporting muscles, improve posture, encourage mobility, and nourish spinal structures, factors that support joint health beyond just hips and knees. And remember, links to all reviews, studies, or summaries or articles can be found in the podcast description. Thanks so much, listeners, for joining me today. I hope this deep dive into the research on walking and joint health gives you even more confidence to lace up and move in a way that supports your knees, hips, spine, and ankles. Study after study reminds us that walking isn't just gentle, it's powerful. It nourishes cartilage, strengthens muscles, improves mobility, reduces stiffness, and protects long term joint function. If you're dealing with joint concerns or just want to keep your body feeling its best as you age, walking is one of the simplest and most effective tools you have. And the best part, you can start right where you are. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd love it if you'd follow, leave a rating, or share your thoughts. And share with a friend. And remember, you can text me your questions, your comments, or topics you'd like to hear more about on the podcast. Until next time, take a gentle step, take a confident step, and keep walking your way to healthier joints.